Hi, I'm Patrick, and my mind is a complete blank. Speaking of blanks, this is Brian Fiore. Recently, due to a vasectomy, is now shooting blanks. Together, we're Just Got Played. We're here in Orlando, Florida. We just got done playing The Great Debate with Chris, Alex, and Misa. Misa. Brian, tell us a little bit about Misa and The Great Debate.
Sure. The Great Debate. It's a party game. It's a card game. It's for 3 to 10 players. It takes about 30 minutes to play, or so, maybe a few minutes longer. And essentially, each of the players take on the role of a debater, and every player's dealt a vote card, an A card, and a B card, and then the rest of the debate topics are shuffled up. And there's 3 different levels of the topics that correspond to their political correctness, pretty much. Whether it's an easy topic or something more fun. And so the cards are randomized, and then the first player basically draws a card, and then they determine who their opponent for the debate will be, and then they pick whichever side, A or B, that they want to argue for of the debate topic. And the winning player is determined by whichever player collects 5 debate cards first. And there's a voting mechanic. So after the first player goes and argues their side for 30 seconds, then the other player goes and does the counter for their 30 seconds, and then everybody chooses what card they want to, which debate was the winner, and it's a simultaneous reveal. So Patrick, what would you say is your favorite thing about The Great Debate?
I would say it would be the icebreaker mechanic. There's a mechanic, it's written, a little sentence that's written on the top of the card, and it's a statement. And the player that comes closest to answering that question or statement becomes the player that you're going to debate against. I really like that. I like the fact that it's kind of got a random aspect to it. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to find out that extra little bit of information from the people you're playing with. If there's something that you really enjoyed about it, what would it be?
The thing that I like best about The Great Debate is that it allows you to get into some juicy political discussions, and so there's that, but without necessarily being all laced up with profanity and stuff like that too. So you can get in there, and there's some shocking conversation that can take place, but without profanity. Well, I guess you could add the profanity, but it's not innate in the cards itself.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
We added some profanity.
But Patrick, what would you say is the thing that you like least about the Great Debate?
I would say probably the fact that in a situation where you have new people, at least me, we sat down and played with a bunch of new people that we've never met before. We had a lot of fun, but I like to stay a little bit north of some of these hot button issues than most people do. With new people, I like to kind of feel them out first, and you might want to keep that in mind when you're playing the game and maybe remove some of the hotter cards. If there's one thing that you didn't like about it, it would be...
The thing is that I didn't like is it is a party game, and so the thing that I didn't like was the voting mechanic. Sometimes it's hard enough to separate out who the better debater was from your feeling as to which side of the debate you just feel should be the right answer. And then what makes it even more difficult is then you start watching who's about to win, and then sometimes you start voting kind of against the rules, and you start voting to basically keep the game going or to stop someone else from winning. The Great Debate, it's already successfully funded on Kickstarter, and you can still get a copy on the website, which we'll post a link to below.
Speaking of blanks, you mentioned blanks earlier. You made a blank card, didn't you?
Oh, I did. Yes. What's kind of cool is the game actually gives you blank cards so you can come up with your own debate topics, and so I took the liberty of filling it in since I can't elsewhere. But so the topic that I created was sharding. Do you throw away your underwear that has been sharded upon, or do you wash your underwear that has been sharded upon? So Patrick, why don't you take the next 30 seconds and argue a position?
I think it really depends on the level of sharding. I don't think it's fair to just ask me that, especially on camera in front of all these people, or hundreds of thousands of fans. But it would depend on the level of sharding. If it was a heavy amount of shardation, then I may throw it away or throw it against the wall of a bathroom. Or if it was a medium amount and I'm comfortable wearing that kind of soiled britches on the way home, I may take it home and clean it out in the sink or, bathtub, wherever, and then throw it in the laundry. And what about you? Would you toss it or keep it?
Toss it. Underwear's cheap.